Good morning, everyone, and thank you for your attention. Today I will discussing one of the most significant and the long-lasting conflict in a modern Turkey, the issue of the Kurdistan Workers' Party. And better now, everyone remember like a PKK. And this topic is not only important for understanding what was in the Turkish domestic politics, but also for analyzing broader questions of nationalism, terrorism, and cultural problems in the international diplomacy also. Through my presentation, I will cover historical background of the PKK, how they are discovered, and the cases of conflict, evolution, and the international dimensions. Also, the PKK was founded in 1978 by Abdullah Öcalan, a group of Kurdish left students in Turkey, and in this time the country was experiencing political instability, social inequalities, and the strong nationalist movements. And this group by Abdullah Öcalan and the group students in Turkey, they get a goal. They have a goal to create an independent Kurdish state, and where the majority of Kurds live influenced by Marxist and Leninist ideology. The PKK struggled only to achieve a liberation. The official conflict between the PKK and the Turkish government started in 1984 with the attacks of Turkish security forces, making the start violence insurgency, what was the last of decades. To understand why the PKK emerged, they must look to the deeper cases. In many years, Turkish denied the existence of Kurdish distance, not just a Kurdish distance, also the Kurdish language and the culture was banned from the public life. Turkish government saying that they can't use Kurdish language, and the schools, anything what was in a Kurdish language was closed, and also the political expression was suppressed. In addition, that Kurdish regions in eastern Turkey suffered from poverty, lack of the infrastructure, and the limited access to the education and job also. And this combination of ethnic, political, and economic exclusion created the frustration of radicalization. After the Öcalan's capture in 1999, the PKK's ideology shifted to the dramatically, while before that time it was a Marxist and a Leninist organization wanting the independence, and later it adapted to the psychology called the democratic confederalism, inspired by Öcalan's writing from the prison. This ideology rejected the idea of nation state and instead promoted local self-government, gender equality, and the ecological balance. What was wrong for ideology of Turkish government was the Kurdish people want to self-government and their own inequality, and also the PKK began women's participation in the politics, military, to show that unique and the future among insurgent groups, and how they are equal for the women also. But this transformation reached just the groups of revolutionaries, and it did not end the armed but a struggle against the Turkish state, because Turkish state never will be. That time they are saying that there never will be give the independence for the Kurdish and to make their own Kurdistan government. We can divide the PKK conflict in three ways, from 1984 to 1999. That was a group waged the intensive guerrilla war, mainly in the southeastern Turkey, leading to tens of thousands of deaths. I think that many of us know the guerrilla war, because we are already talked with this, how they get a point, and how it will be that stronger ones going to against the weaker one. This one, and the second one is after Öcalan was captured in Kenya in 1999, the PKK declared the unilateral ceasefire and withdraw the northern Iraq. And also the third one, the Syrian civil war after 2011, that further complicated the situation because the PKK affiliated groups like the YPG in Syria gained power, which caused new tensions between Turkey and its Western alliance. Let's move the international dimensions like PKK's activities to beyond Turkey's borders, like helping of the United States and the European countries for the YPG. That was one of the terrorist group in a list of terrorist group of Turkey. Let's start in first. This operated based in northern Iraq and it has ideological links with the UPG in Syria. It's played a crucial role in fighting ISIS, but Turkey considered like the YPG like extension of the PKK, and but United States and European countries supported YPG because of they think that it's an ally against the terrorism. This contradiction and the two different ideas between the United States and European countries and Turkey created diplomatic tensions between these countries, especially during the after Syrian war. But now we will see that today PKK remains like a terrorist list of Turkey, United States, European countries, and NATO also. The human cost of PKK conflict was so huge because since 1984, there over than 40,000 people was died. There was just not just soldiers, there was civilians, there was just citizens and the militants also. And thousands of villages were evacuated and the millions of people was displaced from their homes and they think like refugees in their own place. And this war also damaged the regional economy, and it's not just beyond human suffering. Conflict polarized the Turkish politics and the deepened divisions between nationals and reformists also. In shortly, we can say that PKK issue has both humanitarian and the political consequences that continue to shape modern Turkey also. Between 2013 and 2015, Turkey and the PKK entered a historical peace progress. This negotiation was secretly with Abdullah Öcalan. The goal was to end of the conflict through democratic reforms and disarmaments also. But it was just in short time because after the 2015. After the elections, the rising political tensions broke this negotiation and leading to renewed fighting the southwest. And many analysts argue that that was a mutual mistrust, regional politics, and the national pressures, and both sides contributed to the failure of the peace of this progress. And how we already get information in a conclusion, I can say that the PKK issue, it's not just can solved by the military or by the government. It's deeply rooted to identity, inequality, and the historical trauma of citizens and civilians also. While the PKK remains a serious security challenge for Turkey, long-term peace requires recognizing Kurdish cultural rights and also improving the economic conditions and creating the channels for political dialogue also. But at first they want independence, make a Kurdistan. But nowadays, what they want is a cultural rights to use their own language and to improving their economic conditions. But it's from the Turkish government not possible ways. But and also the regional cooperations, particularly among Turkey, Iraq, and Syria, will be also crucial for achieving a sustainable resolution between the PKK and Turkey. But in the end, I want to mention that peace is possible when the justice and the equality and the trust is restored, and the justice and equality not in a just one way. For example, not in a just a PKK's way should be, or in a Turkish government, but it should be in a not in a middle way for the two sides also, like a win-win situation.